Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Yeah, so we have one twist after another and another. So let's continue on what next thing we're gonna find out. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present to this court at this point? Well, let me see. We have this bottle here. Let's remember that very quick. The same bottle should be shown here. I mean, this one looks like there's a cork on top. Is there like a different bottle? There's two differences here. This is the corkless bottle, and that one isn't. That's my only guess, really. I mean, it's unless there wasn't anything in the bottle, but then it was something after she poured it already. Do you have any further evidence to present at this point? Kazuma? I mean, there's so many questions, like why the heck is the food in front of the guy who apparently can't eat food? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you excuse me now, I really must be leaving. No, there's something. There's something.
Hold it!
Oh, who's that? Oh wait, the young lady who left to go get something. Please wait. Isn't that... What's the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on the court's proceeding, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Oh, what did she bring? Something that can help us. To be continued! Of course! Well, we're not gonna end it here, so we're gonna keep on going. Save our current progression? Yes, indeed. Oh my gosh, just one twist after another. I did not expect that for the first case where we have so many different twists happening. The first case usually is like a small tutorial where we just figure stuff out. 22nd November, 1:14 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Sorry, am I saying that right? Judicature? Courtroom 2. I feel like I've been saying it wrong this whole time. But I won't know. So I'm gonna keep on saying it. Well, I understand you are judicial assistant to the defense, but why is the sudden ingress into my courtroom? Ha! A judicial assistant, and a woman no less. Excuse me? The rule states that females are not permitted into the court of law other than to testify. Wow, man's world, ain't it? Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. You're late, little girl. The trial's already been concluded. 5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more. Your Excellency! I am most grateful. Yeah, take that, Uichi. Hello. Welcome to our side of the court. Who exactly are you? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now. What is it? A report about something written in English. It's JEZAILLE Brett's research. The English woman's? After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper. Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under Professor, wasn't she? So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of this trial myself. Oh no, of course not. Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Curare? What's that? I never heard of that word before. Time's up. The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom. There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could in a note just inside the cover. If you think I could be valuable, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful, thank you. JEZAILLE's report has been entered into the courtroom. Goodbye then, and good luck. Okay, better take a look at that book now. You have had long enough, counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but... The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency. Can I look at that thing already? A poison made from the bark of a certain tree in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects: instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Route of entry: the above mentioned effect occurs when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as the inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to the inability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or the patient will die of suffocation. Ooh, an anesthetic. Does that mean he could have had it long before, during his dental appointments? Prosecution, blah blah blah. Ryunosuke, we're out of option here. This really is our last chance. Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett? Yes, Your Excellency. If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer. It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not a very long time until tea time. Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it wasn't phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat this as an order. Oh, she is not happy. I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense. My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is the new evidence that demands the court our attention? I mean, we only have one option here. And present! Miss JEZAILLE Brett, we understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Yomei University doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison. What? Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel? A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death. What? What complete and utter nonsense. Curare, you say? I've never heard of it. You wouldn't have done. What do you mean? I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't? Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'll never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. What? Order! 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 Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that the research well known among European doctors and scientists to lace their arrows. The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle, and it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that sum it about, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Trumpery! These observations are utterly trumpery. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would not have been squirming and raving in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed. Huh, that's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I wouldn't have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being any kind of pain. According to this, however, it's the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that the curare was used. Explain yourself, counsel. The moment the toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, inflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they are in total agony, there would be no sign of visible pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all signs in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effect could have gone largely unnoticed. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe that it causes muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. All the while, the victim is conscious and unaware, just unable to move. That's hideous. To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. Now the only question is, how does she get it to him? Unless it is in the bottle already. And you're suggesting that this poison capsule actually contains the terrifying poison?
Objection!
This is all very convenient, isn't it? I mean, just ask the lady to drink it, that's all. Here to unknown poison, for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale of the defense. If I may. All these facts. You think you're so clever, but you must... Oh. It is you must be taught. Of course, of course. Dear lady. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the result as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstance of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree? Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules. What's so funny? Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please? Well, yes, I don't see, why not? She's gonna drink it, isn't she? Okay, so the poison is not in the bottle, but she laced it probably in the cup before you drink it. Don't get too big of your boots, you insignificant little island boys. Sorry? To an English woman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these full courtroom antics is laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers! So she's actually gonna drink it? Yep, there she goes, actually drinking it. Wait! What are you doing? No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she's fine. But we have to figure out where the poison was actually in. It was not in the bottle. Goodness. Whatever is the matter now, you all look quite stunned. So, no cure. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying? You look quite incredulous, little boy, but of course, that is the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the final findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. I should like to be excused now, please. I think I got more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries. Ah, yes, dear lady, we are most grateful with the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Well, I suppose that's nothing else. This little Far Eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There has to be been poison in that bottle, doesn't there? But there can't have been. Because otherwise she would have kneeled over dead. Which means... Come, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water, it does contain poison. But maybe it died out after a while. The culprit did procure poison into the Dr. Wood's carbonated water. I, the defense, refuse to change its position. You're serious?
Objection!
Fool! Are you blind? There's no possible way the bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw Miss Brett drinking the water from it. That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think. And I believe your complications can be explained. How? Exactly. I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the courtroom somewhere. Has to be... Wait. I mean, I did mention this last part. In the picture, we have an uncorked bottle. Very well, the defense truly intends to assert this claim. Then I must ask you to support their assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed? So yeah, poison made for tree box, a hunter game region, blah blah blah. Entire body subsequent death. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, I believe that the toxin could have applications as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as the result of the full body process must be found first, or the patient would die of suffocation. So, does she know how to stop it before it actually happened?
Yes!
The music didn't stop, I think. Let's see.
Objection!
That's not a valid explanation. No. After all, you don't speak English, blah blah blah. On scoundrel, ridicule your counsel. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest, blah blah blah. Can I concur? It's too extensive to read with the... Okay. Oh wait, it is the right one. I do have to choose though. Which section of the report reveals the allergy section? We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using the poison for years and years to lace the heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch a prey to eat. Oh, yeah, that's right. I just didn't realize that. So that means they have a resistance to the poison. But if they were to use these laced arrows, does that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because they would be poisoned. Good gracious, Council. No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum. In this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seems a little strange to me. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When Kuray enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. Oh, he had an open wound in his mouth because he had his molars removed. Oh my gosh. When it enters the body via mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you authored this research, you knew the Kuray's special characteristics, and you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking the water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little... What? That's real! It's alive! The goose is loose! It's alive! Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
Oh, all this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I failed to see how it's possible. So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish? Flaw? As even your brain has managed to deduce, Kuray is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus. Oh yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they? So if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? No, let's not forget. Good gracious. That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no? Oh no, we have this in the bag. Order in the court. The logic holds, if the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Are you trying to suggest? Yes, is Kuray poison completely irrelevant to the case? That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something so simple as that. This is it. Wait, what is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. Is he gonna do the thing? It's sort of conviction to break out all discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Do the thing.
Objection!
Did the thing. I don't think so, Miss Giselle, Brett. How dare you use tone with me? You know very well that there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you, you must provide compelling evidence, as we know that the poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by this Kuray? Well...
Take that!
As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. A fatal difference. The toxic effects of Kuray are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So for a healthy person with no injuries drinking, it is completely harmless. But... what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes. Like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you are well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it. He used the knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are so puerile. What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. What is going on? You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No. I mean, it could just slip. She's gonna drop it. I mean, you can easily just grab a sample with that towel he has and then test what's ever left. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have been tragically destroyed. No. No! What is it? What just happened? It's the English woman. She just smashed that bottle. And in the Supreme Courtroom, what a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect as much of the water from the broken bottle as possible at once. You're wasting your time. The delightful carpet underneath, oh, there's a carpet, my feet was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it will soak up all the beautiful water. Well, get the carpet and squeeze it out of there. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. I mean, did she just admit it? How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know, will we? If there was really poison in that bottle or not. You. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel, for the prosecution? Oh, of course, you're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady. That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day. The poor professor was shot sitting with his back to me. And so, of course, the only person who could have shot him from a front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No, you little... you killed the victim that day using Cure. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you arranged for him to find on the floor before you shot the professor dead in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in the chair around, you see? You had every opportunity to commit this crime. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. I mean, I can think of one evidence that could suggest otherwise. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ugh. This is unbelievable. How could this be happening? We had her, but now, is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed the evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke. Yes? We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true, so if there's any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. My head? You told me before that your powers of observation were one thing you could really depend on. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. So you think it back again now, try to remember every last detail about that scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. Oh, it's kind of hard to see that there is blood on there. Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head, could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Yeah, there's a clue. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. Ahaha, you always have something up for your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe the smug smile off the Englishwoman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is, they could be the key to arriving the truth about all this. There's something somewhere, the clue that shows Dr. Wilson's killer who must have been is. I mean, it has to be this blood.
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes, what is it? Ugh, he's still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of the steak you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection!
Wait a minute.
Shut up!
Where are you going with this, little boy? She is absolutely done with her prosecutor. It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What a memory? I saw the scene shown in the photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a splatter of blood. What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of the steak is almost directly beneath the victim. I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front. There's no way that the blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Yes, for blood to have made it onto the plate implies that the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor as you were. JEZAILLE Brett, I beg your pardon?
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is this the court seriously expecting to believe something that accused has apparently just remembered seeing? This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean? Yes, I took the plate in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? You took the meat. I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. You took everyone's food. And I did it all in the name of justice. Then we can find for sure whether or not there is a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. Do you just happen to have the plate on you now? Inspector? The court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir. Is he gonna go get it? Oh, he's got it. Let me guess, there's no blood, is there? Sorry for the delay. There better be blood. No more twists. Here's what you ordered, the steak. Well, what about the blood? There's a blood on it. Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector. The blood, man! Show the court. Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. I see a lack of blood. Wait, is this the right steak? It's slightly different, isn't it? It looks slightly different steak. No blood anywhere. But no, that's impossible. I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. Oh well, this video is going on for way longer than it should. So we're gonna have to stop that there. Well, catch me on the next suspenseful moment of this. Another twist. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until then, I will see you all later. Goodbye.